football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another shade of blue. 5 goals, Thad Bell. I can't believe this is real. I know we're kind of forcing this one in here. We couldn't get a schedule in. I'm sorry for that I haven't been around. You've been doing a great job, Thad. Thank you for carrying the ship here.
No, I don't think I'm doing a great job, but I love to hear you have the back at it again, man. I have been chastised for not having a good back at it again, or doing it even when I do like another, like an off, a side pod where I got an interview pod coming up later this week that I've already recorded. I got to post it. I've been chastised for not doing back at it again, and I definitely don't do it as well as you.
Yeah, I even made the mistake at one point of just trying to start our show differently in a more casual way and all of that. And no, that people got mad that it wasn't there. That makes me feel good. That I feel good. I'm doing a thing that people like. That's kind of that makes me feel good about all of this. Okay.
For a
So,
second, I thought you said you were feeling good that you were making people mad.
well, I do. I like when I like when that happens as well.
True,
So
true.
yes, like I said, we're kind of squeezing this one in. There's a little different episode we're doing here. Robert will appear in segment 2. Is that right, then?
Yes, he will appear as the official expert analyst in segment two to
Oh no.
break down the goals and a little other chatter. And he also directed me to give you some crap about something, but I'll save that for segment three.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm fresh off of volleyball. I've overstretched myself, Thad, with this new job and all my rec sports. I play too many rec sports. And yeah, so I'm getting back on track. I'm getting a handle of the new job. We're gonna get back on this. We got to back at it again this week.
We did.
Oh, yes, I'm feeling better about this. Carrie is supposed to join at some point.
She is. I was referring to you guys as the C team, the Cody and Carrie, but
I
I
read
thought
that.
maybe that sounds bad.
No, I read that in the Slack. At first, I was offended. You're right. And then I was like, wait a second. There's something to this. The C team. I like when things are named after me. I like when I'm at the center of the tension.
No, never noticed that.
Okay, so yes, let's talk. We finally do have fun sporting Kansas City to talk about. We normally normally we talk about that and go off on tangents whenever things aren't that fun, and we did it anyway. But 5 goals, 5-3 over San Jose, Bruce Arena, and what I called a super team just like a month ago. I don't know when that was.
I seem to recall that I was saying I don't know that they're going to be as good as what they were, and all this other stuff. And I mean, they're not bad. They're like 20th in the overall stand, like in the 30 team standings. They're like 20th, so they're not that much farther up.
Yeah, yeah. The week before they had lost to the Galaxy. Is that right? That kind of came out of nowhere. The Galaxy are still in last.
Yeah, yeah, they're still way down there, man.
Okay, so I'm following. I told you we're squeezing this in right now. I didn't do this rundown. I'm following Thad's rundown here. Are we back? Is SKC back? Like really back, Thad? I'm asking you the question.
Well, wait a minute. I thought I was supposed to be asking the damn questions today.
Wait, I did the intro. I wanted this to be your show. I was gonna kind of have fun being your role and throwing you off and doing all that. But no, you were right. We needed the back at it again. It felt good. I hadn't done it in
Right.
a while. So okay, so tell me, is SKC back?
I can't just do that, man. I can't just go, yes, they're back. But
They are. They totally are.
they are in the top like 8 or 9 teams in the last 3 games.
Okay. Okay, progress. I like the optimism.
They've won 2 out of the last 3. Um, they still obviously have a bunch of holes, man. Defense still is,
That
you know,
defense does not matter when you have 5 shots on goal, and 5 goals.
the XG was like 1 point something, man. It was way down there though.
It
Five
doesn't
goals
matter.
though.
We're defying XG. There could be a tree in goal, and we would still be fine. 5 shots, 5 goals. Someone made the point that it just feels so different from every sporting Kansas City team we've ever had. I don't know that everything tactically was all that different, I do believe there is we're not going to call it a new coach bump, but we said for so long, there's just bad vibes. Everything was the same. There was one guy in control of everything. Nothing was different. It was the same in and out. And I don't think Peter Vermees lost the locker room, but
No,
when things are going, when it's just a change of atmosphere, something is new. There's reason for the players to believe again. Daniel Shallowi's making amazing first touches and just finishing like a monster. Oh my God, I can't believe that game. Oh, it just felt so good. Those hugs, Daniel's mustache. I thought I hated it. Now it's amazing. Oh, I love this.
Dan the Stash Shallowy. No. What's
Yes.
better, Dan the Man or Dan the Stash?
Dan the man felt right. That first touch, I was kind of just joking about it. Incredible, Thad. I don't know if that, like, okay, maybe a little fortunate. Maybe a little fortunate, but it was, if he had been playing better, we would call this guy incredible. What a messy first touch that was. Incredible, man. Seriously.
A messy first touch.
Touches. 3 touches on that goal. One from the keeper, one to set it up, and one on the other foot. That was just Daniel. If SKC are not back, Daniel is back.
Which will lead to a lot of good things, man. And it was technically the second goal, and Denbei was the first one.
Correct, correct. But
Logan, the St. Louis City killer in Denbei, blasted a goal.
yes,
So.
yes, he did. And in the same fashion as he did against St. Louis. No, I saw some discussion on Reddit about Daniel Salloi. He's taking a lot of heat. Rightly so. He's kind of disappeared. Everyone has known he's a streaky player, Thad. But if in the same way, I'm a Game of Thrones fan, a long winter or a long summer will lead to a long winter. Okay. Daniel has had a long winter. So I think a long summer is coming. If he's a streaky player, we just survived a very long streak of Daniel not doing a whole lot. And now, if those goals are going to start coming, let's freaking ride this roller coaster.
2 goals, 2 assists, also. So that was pretty amazing for him. Uh, yeah, they're doing well in scoring, man. They're up there.
And I don't know, like I haven't listened obviously to what Robert had to say. Was there something tactically? Is Carey doing something amazing with this team, or did all of a sudden the luck just change? The soccer gods look differently on us, and where balls were not falling into the net before, now they're just barely. Logan's shot is just barely glancing off that right wrist and still going in. Is it just is that what the new manager bounce is that you have next on our rundown here? It's just some luck, new vibes, new energy, new atmosphere. I think that's what they're rolling off of, man.
I mean, I think it is a lot of it because it's not so much different as I really think that Carey has just allowed him a little more freedom, a little less
Yeah.
restricted in how you have to do things, a little more creativity, and all that. And that new manager bounce that we all will talk about a million times over the next couple weeks, I'm sure.
If
I've
we
seen even at training that they have just done a little bit different, things a little bit different. It's not drastic. You've been there to training before. You know how they break into like 3 groups and do rondo.
Yep, yep.
That keep away game, right?
My favorite.
Now
That's
they've
the
been.
best part of training to watch that, honestly.
I know it's fun, but now they're doing this giant rondo like in the center of the
Mm.
field. So players are around the whole center circle.
Oh yeah,
They
I've
put
seen that
three
before. Yeah,
players in before. Well, they didn't really do that. Not that we normally saw them at least. So
right.
I mean, that's just again something a little bit different. You don't see him breaking out into the starting 11 as quickly on game day on the game day minus ones and stuff like that. It's just little things that are different, and maybe they just needed that change to have some little bit of uncomfortableness. I don't know if that's a good word, but there's
Yeah.
a little bit of something different.
Is my lack of tactical ability of analysis in the game missing something? What was I missing something from this, or are you with me on, man, new vibes will carry a team a long way?
That is again, people will argue about the whole new manager bounce. I've watched videos, I've read websites, I've read statistical analysis that new manager bounce doesn't exist, et cetera, because you always change your managers when the team's at their lowest. Well, how do you know that's their lowest? That's why they just bounce back up. But you know,
Hey, I've been told for years that Tonganoxie split doesn't exist by meteorologists. I just saw the other day someone on one of the local news channels has done some digging. He found some support from atmospheric scientists that maybe lend it some credence.
Yeah, I think that yes, the Takahashi split has seemed to be very real. If it isn't, it's been imagined into existence by.
I will die on that hill. It's real. It saves us.
But I do think there's just a new manager bounce is real because you see it so often. And yes, I understand the statistics that the teams at its lowest when it changes managers, but that doesn't mean that they're going to go back up at that point. They could still go. They could still be down. So there is a new manager bounce. It's real. It's magnificent. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, where I was at, why I didn't necessarily see something tactically all that different, because again, I know they scored. I was bragging about 5 shots on goal and 5 scored, but that they only got 5 shots on goal, or they only got 5 shots the whole game. So maybe a lot wasn't that different. There's just things happened to fall this game, and yeah, they conceded 3 goals. If they don't, the ball doesn't perfectly bounce off of the keeper's wrist and go in on Logan's shot, it could be very different. But I don't care about any of that. We scored 5 goals, and I had so much fun watching that game, and it felt good to do that again.
Yeah, it was. And I've talked about this a little bit with Robert because I'd already recorded that, but it was a little bit weird for me because I just got home from the current game and all of a sudden I'm like nuking some food because eating some noodles and all of a sudden it's like there's a goal.
Like
Damn, there's a
bracing for
goal.
impact. You're nuking some noodles. Oh, this isn't the greatest life I've ever had. I'm microwaving a sad microwave meal, about to watch a sad Sporting KC game. And then the noodles were really good too because goals started falling.
Yeah, that teriyaki ramen was magnificent, man. It was, but by the time I like finished eating my teriyaki noodles and turned to like go throw the thing away and put the fork in the sink and all that stuff, all of a sudden the goals started going the other way. So I was like, maybe I should nuke more noodles.
I had a buddy who never misses a game tell me he fell asleep and missed every single roll of the ball. So I'm alleging if any of you did anything different, if you missed the game you normally watch, if you had someone watch with you that doesn't normally watch, everyone must do everything the same.
I sometimes you like break those streaks, man, and I like to at least pretend that there is some voodoo, some luck, some charm, some little thing that did it. But man, I think this was just they broke out a little bit. Now I don't know they can keep it up. That's the next question: is
Well,
can they
they
continue?
can't keep up 100% shot efficiency.
Okay, they didn't actually have that. It's
That's
not quite accurate. They had like 7 or 8 shots and they got
oh,
five
okay.
goals.
Oh, okay.
Five on
5 shots.
target, one
Okay.
blocked, one off target. I think there might have been one more in there that FB ref isn't catching. But
Okay, I'm sorry.
you're
Yeah,
close.
you should have corrected me on that earlier. I really did.
No, I just
It
let you
was
run,
five
man.
goals.
It's more fun
I
to
was
let you
having
just.
fun. You're right. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, let's since we're putting the brakes on that there, this last piece you have on here, tied for 7th in goals scored, not too shabby, but number 1 in goals allowed. Is that just the Western Conference?
No, that's everybody.
Oh God, is it really?
Yes,
Wait, really?
yes,
Dang. Okay.
that
All
is
right, wake up.
everybody.
Number
It's
1 in goals allowed in MLS. See, so that's what I was saying. You're normally the one that pours water on the fire when I'm getting all excited here. So let's add some reality to this. Like I said, they gave up 3 goals, number 1 in goals allowed. Didn't necessarily light the world on fire, other than connecting on every shot on goal that they made.
so. Do you know who has the most goals scored as a
Uh,
team? As a team,
I mean, I feel like the easy answer is Miami, and it can't be that, or you wouldn't be asking me this question.
it is not Miami. It is San Jose.
Oh, wow. Wow, if they were talking about that during the game, I missed that.
Do you want to know how many goals Miami has? 13.
Yes. Oh, really?
You want to know how many goals Kansas City has? 15.
Let's go, boys.
So at this point, Manu greater than Messi.
It's all there for the taking. We're gonna get a baller center back in the summer. Cody believes again. We're never gonna die.
What if the ones we got just get the shit settled, man? Or the
Oh,
midfield blocks them a little bit better. I mean, we still are starting a rookie D mid most of the games, right? So I mean,
yeah.
it's and we finished that game with two of our three youngest center backs,
Yeah,
Jansen Miller
where do
and
you,
Buller.
I thought of this during the game. Where do you stand with Fernandez at the moment?
As far away as possible.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
me.
I don't know, man.
I really do.
Neither
I
he or Rosero is like impressing me.
yeah,
Neither one.
it's not just like yeah. I feel like the bar that I'm looking for is really low, and it's just the way he moves. There are times the ball has bounced a certain way, and he has reacted later than I want an athletic center back, a capable center back to do. And I just yeah, the way he's moving, his reactions are not doing it for me. He just doesn't look good a lot of the time. Even if he does end up making the play, clearing that ball, it doesn't look good.
It doesn't. I want to like him. I want to because I mean he's got a decent pedigree. He has some goodness to him. Even the kids draw him funny though.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I know. It's part of sometimes I need to remind myself it's MLS, and just sometimes there are successful MLS center backs that I do see that same thing I was just describing in Fernandez, where I think this guy is kind of awkward and I'm not entirely sure about him, and it just seems to work. He always ends up getting his head on the ball. Sometimes there are guys like that. You play in sports where that guy looks awkward. He's not very athletic, but he does this one thing that just he gets the rebound every time, and you don't know how he does it. Yeah, there are still guys like that at this level in Major League Soccer that are still successful. So maybe I shouldn't, like you said, be running as far away from him as possible. But
Yeah, maybe not yet. I don't know. I was a little snarky earlier when I said that, but I do kind of feel. I mean, yes, they just gave up 3 goals to San Jose, but that's the league leading scoring team
yeah,
and
man,
all that.
Chicho, all those guys, that is a good team.
When
It is a good team.
yeah, but they're only like 20th in the overall standings. I
I
mean,
know.
they're not even that high up.
It's because they're all shitheads though. Like it doesn't surprise me that not all of them can come together and be a functioning team every time. But each time Chicho gets the ball or Martinez gets the ball or or Joseph gets the ball, they're deadly, man. It's a lethal team. You never know.
Yeah, they have a ton of talent, and again, Arena has been a good coach in the past, and I don't see any reason he won't continue to be, even if I don't really love him.
Oh,
You're
and I hate Chicho every time he touches the ball. I didn't think I could dislike him more when he left RSL, but somehow his hair got worse and I don't know. Everything he does just upset. He just looks wrong doing it. Hate his
I,
face.
I know you're not as young as I actually think you are, Cody, but did you ever see the
I am.
show on Disney Channel of Andy Manny?
Yeah, well, I wasn't a Disney Channel kid, but yeah, I know that show.
If
I
you
was
ever
Nickelodeon.
go find it and listen to the tools talk, there's a tool called Rusty. It's like the wrench and it's whatever. It sounds just like Bruce Arena. So in our house, whenever we talk about Arena, it's we just call him Rusty.
Did you see that sign in LA? Oh man, sometimes I like American soccer fans sometimes. Someone just held up a sign in LA that said, "What did Bruce Arena do when they were playing San Jose?" And the guy just had the same vibe that I did, where it's like, I thought San Jose always sucked, no matter what. I
Yeah.
just thought they were terrible. And then all all of a sudden they have this team.
Again, we got to see this year out, man. I am going to tell you that San Jose is going to finish like halfway or below. They're not going to be at the top of the table. They're not going to be at the top of the West. They're going to be about halfway. Might make the playoffs. I'm not saying they won't
Yeah.
because that's not that hard of a bar to achieve.
I know.
But I
I know.
just like
They would be the team you don't want to play too, because all those guys that I think are kind of shitheads would, oh, we're in the playoffs. They'll click on and I'll figure it out at the same time then.
but between all those shitheads and them getting older and all of that, I just don't think they're going to be as great a team. But who knows, man? He's got a lot of contacts. He might bring somebody in the summer window also. And
They already
yeah,
they made that trade too that will
that's
probably
right.
improve them if Martinez gets further up the field as a result. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Very, very true. So they actually probably will be better now that you said that. I forgot about that. Them acquiring Noel Buck, and they also acquired somebody else. But
Yeah.
all right, enough about them. Can Sporting still acquire somebody? The window is still open. We're recording this on Monday night. The window closes on Wednesday.
Well, Thad, if they can't still acquire someone, then I don't know what a rebuilding year is. They have to have the ability to still sign someone.
Well, they have the ability. It's just whether they do it. I mean, they had Drew Yearwood in here on trial. I know some of those other guys were kind of not necessarily rumored to Sporting, but were like in that, oh, this would be a good player team for to pick up that guy.
Yeah.
But you got to make the trade. So, uh,
No rumblings. You're not aware of anything.
no, not yet, at least. That'll be a question tomorrow for Carrie. But this is those weird moments, man, because before, no matter whether Peter was the GM or just the coach slash soccer god, you could always say Peter, and you know that he knew exactly what's going on and things are going to be exactly what he wanted. He may not tell you, but you at least knew he knew the answer and was a determining factor. Now I'm not totally sure, like who is determining that next player,
Yeah.
and will
Well,
they make
I
the
mean,
move?
it's Burns, right? What do you mean who's determining it? Burns, GM, or TD, whatever, whatever the hell.
Well,
I don't know. It keeps
yeah,
changing.
I know that's why it's just Mr. Burns, and it's excellent. All right. Um, Anything else, man, stuck out from that match that, it was fun. It was they had the vibe going. It was post camp's birthday. He got an assist, had some good saves. Not gonna
Yeah,
blame him, not really gonna blame him for the goals either.
he did. Pulskamp had one very big save in the opening minutes. I think like the sixth
Yeah.
minute that that game could have been very different if they opened the scoring that quickly. So that was good stuff.
Yeah. And I think this might be that team is that if the stuff goes against them early, it might be hard to come back from. If it goes good for them early, they might run away with it.
And on that same note about Pulskamp, who we've not all been always that friendly to necessarily this season. I even talked some crap about his distribution so far this season, and then he has the first keeper assist in like what was that since 2000 or wait no was it like 20 years? Did am I dreaming that? I think
It was
someone
like
said
20 years.
years. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's crazy.
There's a
Congrats to
whole
him.
generation of players that hasn't seen Sporting get a keeper assist,
That's
which
right.
which is crazy because, like you said, Tim Melia getting the ball out there, Jimmy Nielsen, some of the other keepers that we don't want to remember their names. Come on.
Yeah. I don't know that Jimmy Nielsen. We didn't really play the game back in Jimmy Nielsen's day of distribution. That was the high flying, just flying up the wings, high press, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but the flying up the wings would have been the perfect moment for it,
And are
A
we
Kai
that old?
Kamara.
Was Jimmy Nielsen pre Pep Guardiola changing the world with the playing out of the back? That kind of was. That was right when the tiki taka was starting for Barcelona.
And
That
that
was
was
like
right
around,
about the time that Sporting started trying to do it also.
yeah, and everyone else in the world.
Yeah, actually, again, Peter will catch a lot of crap and some of it very well deserved, but he played the type of ball that he needed to do to get results early and then tried to make it a prettier game after that. And then some of it was really beautiful, the Ilie days and stuff like that, but some of it was not so great. But he wasn't he caught a lot of crap for not changing the game, but he did a lot to actually change the game over the
Yeah.
decade and a half.
Yeah, I hope no one ever forgets the almost decade long period that everything Kansas City did on almost all fronts was a template for the rest of the league
Yeah.
under his leadership. So
Every new team came into the league, came here to see how the stadium was done, to see how the training was done, all that stuff. All right. Are we done with segment one?
yeah, I want to hear what Robert has to say.
All right. We will be back with Robert and I talking a little bit about some the goals and the goals scored, the goals given up, some other stuff.
Give us a good
And
tease. Tease something good. Would say someone had a good take. Tease it. Set it up.
Robert had a good take.
I'm trying to train that. I like to make fun of him for headline writing and things like that. He doesn't like to spice things up. He likes to be coy. I'm trying to get you to sell this. It's a good segment.
Yeah, no, it was a good segment. Robert's a smart guy and broke down what was going on and told me to give you crap. So he's got to be good.
Yeah, but then
We'll be
it's
back. All right, we're back for segment two. This segment, just because of the way things have worked out, is Robert Russert and me for the moment. Robert was unable to join for the whole rest of the pod, but I wanted to make sure that the soccer expert Robert had a chance to come in and weigh in. How you doing, Robert?
Doing well, doing well. Well, thank you. Yeah, playing tonight too. So that's the reason I won't be able to be at the rest of the pod because this old man's gonna get out there again. Whether it's a wise decision or not, I don't know.
Well, hey, more power to you, man. I'm just trying to rehab my body just so I can do normal stuff, much less play.
Well,
But
hey, make sure on the segment when you're with Cody that you give him crap because he's on the other team this year.
oh, I haven't even looked at the list, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw an email come out, but I didn't look at the list. So, are we on the same team?
I'm checking that right now. I hope so because then Mr. Sperry is on my team. I know that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and Weeby and Bucati are playing this year, so
Dang.
yeah, interesting. But hey, go ahead and I will confirm as we go because I have to pull the email still.
Right.
So what do
Well,
you think of the game? What do you want to talk about, sir?
5 goals, man. Well above the expected goals. The XG, what was it, like 1.9,
Yeah,
something
I
like
don't know
that?
about how they do that, but anyway. And
Well,
yes, you and I are on the same team. You and I and Sperry.
okay.
Yes.
The well, I was looking through FBref because they list the individual shots. So
Yeah.
for Sporting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots listed, I think, and XG of 0.01, 0.08, 0.11, 0.14, 0.48, 0.52, and 0.43. The post shot
Okay.
expected goals is a little bit higher than those.
Yeah.
They were all pretty low chances according to that.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk about it as we go here.
All right. First goal, Logan, the St. Louis City killer in Denbigh, is back.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's his first regular season goal, isn't it? Because that's what we saw him do his playoffs, right?
Yeah, he's just, finally back in form, I guess.
And would you say he crushed that ball? I would say he did.
Yeah, I know people are like, "Oh, it's a rocket." And I'm like, it's not that far away. I think rockets are a little farther away, but yes, no,
Yeah.
he smashed that ball. Keeper got a little touch on it, I think, and boom, goal right off the bat, like early in the game, man.
Yeah, exactly. But we've been talking about him for a while, but Garcia's ball to Salloi was the key ball there. But Ndenbe, the whole time, he sees the possibility of what's developing. So he stays on side, and then he's available there for the ball when he gets it. So just the fact that he's thinking about possibility and seeing it develop is very important there. And I think that's something maybe the team overall seems to be doing a little bit more is reading those game moments and seeing where they can impact a match and where they should be. So that's something I'm seeing. Joveljic, he attracts the defense with his run as well because they're all kind of expecting the ball to go to him, which leaves Logan some space. So again, recognizing where they need to be to impact the play. All these guys are working together. It's cool to see, huh?
It is, and how much of it, I mean, I know we're going to have to keep going back to this every pod for a while. How much of this is attributed to Carey? How much of it is attributed to they're just getting used to each other? Because Salloi and Joveljic, it feels like they have a little better connection than like Tommy did out there.
Yeah, yeah. Um, a little bit of it is time, I think, and I think it's also they just feel a little more free, if you will. Maybe with Carey's give them a little more freedom, and they feel just a little more free because of just the change. Because change can kind of do that for you, whether it's a change in scenery, change in coach. So I think that's part of it as well. Also on this goal, and Salloi did this a number of times. He keeps running. He
Yeah.
didn't stop. Yeah, he kept running, and he was also in a dangerous area and attracted some defense. And again, it all opens it up for Logan to finish off.
And then speaking of Salloi, he gets the second goal 2 minutes later.
You know, what do you think of that one? Who would you call the key play on that one? Pulskamps, or would you call Salloi? Obviously the finish, but what do you think?
You know, I think Pulskamp has gotten some criticism in the past for not being too accurate on those type of balls, but that was spot on. The
Yeah.
defender could have done a little bit better on that, but Salloi got a nice little touch and then uh, got it in front of him and one more touch and the ball's in the back of the net from essentially about the same spot that Ndembe did.
Yeah, and that's the thing I think a number of us have been saying about Daniel is he is that instinctive guy who in those moments just knows what to do. He's got a good touch. He hits one touch and then the ball bounces off the turf and he hits it exactly the right time, doesn't go over the bar. I mean, that's just something that he does well because he doesn't really have to think about it, right?
When I mean that's a goal scorer, right? Is when
Yeah.
they're on, they can make those touches and the ball goes in the net. And when they're off, you know, nothing goes right.
But
And
how about the reaction though after he scored? Did you see it in his face? It was kind of like a little bit of shock, like, okay, we're up 2-0.
yeah,
And I just did that. And Pulskamp just played me that ball. And where the hell is he? Because he's supposed to be over here celebrating with us, right?
that's too far for Pulskamp to run.
Yeah, well, that's what he said with it.
Um, that was no, it was just a hell of a play, and then just bang bang, and San Jose's got to be in shock. I know Kansas City's been on the opposite end of that. You know, we're giving up a couple quick goals like that.
Yeah.
You know, personally, I just got home from the current game and had sat down and nuked some food and would just started to like eat something and looked over and there was a goal. And like, dang, wow, that's cool. And then I start to like take another bite. There's another goal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that
Well,
was
you'd already seen a number of goals on the day, but Debbie and I are sitting at my brother's place, and they're not soccer people at all. And we're watching as we sit on the floor on my phone, and we're just like, whoa, what is happening? You know?
so third goal. Manu gets his first for Sporting, assist by Shopee and Redoya. Another good combination. Just what that was more from the center from the top of the box, right?
Yeah, and okay, we got to clarify this. The announcers said, Redoya. It's supposed to be Radia, right?
Yeah,
Okay, all
it
right.
is.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's why I will a lot of times just say Nemanja.
yeah, right. And that switch from Radia was obviously beautiful. I don't know if Bartlett has that in his bag yet. We haven't seen that quite yet, that he can do quite that kind of ball. But Shoppy, nice receiving of the ball, and he's going to go to work right away when he gets it.
Yep. Yeah, and it's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to go right, but he is a working winger there, isn't he?
Well, I wonder how many times that Garcia, Manu, and Shoppy, sorry, Shoppy have done that back, when they were with Eris.
Well, I don't know that it was that much because they weren't really that high of a scoring team, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
that's true. That's true. But Garcia sees the space and you see him point to it, and Shoppy's got his head up and plays it for him. Beautiful play.
So in the whole timeline thing, a couple minutes, well, 6 minutes later by the timing over here, San Jose claims one back, but that was right when I went back to the kitchen to put my bowl back in the sink because I'd finished eating some noodles real quick and put that in. So I got my back to the thing and it's like boom. It's like what the hell is going on in this place, man?
Well, you knew it was too good to be true. You knew that something was bound to go wrong sooner or later, right? But
Oh
hey,
yeah.
at least this one wasn't off a set piece, because that's what the danger was, that I was thinking, okay, it's going to be in a set piece. They're going to get back in this game.
Yeah. Joseph Martinez, refresh me. How did that goal go? Because I know you.
Well, you've got a guy driving down the right center channel, their right center channel, our left center channel. No one at all pressures the ball. And you've got Miller. He's with Martinez, right? He's got him marked as the ball is being brought up the field near the box, but then he just lets him go between him and Joaquin. and also keeps on Joseph Martinez. So, yeah, nobody pressures the ball. Fault number one. Miller letting Joseph go and keeping him on. Fault number two. And it's an easy ball from there, an easy finish, really.
Yeah, they as we know, they still have a lot of work to do on the defense.
Yes, they
Um,
do.
and I don't want to put Jansen on, blast or anything. He had a not great game last game. I still think he's been a pretty solid defender for being a rookie and just having a few games in hand, but
Yeah.
that
Well,
doesn't mean
let's
he doesn't have things to learn.
in the rundown you have what was different. And one thing they are doing a little bit different is they played a little higher pressure in this game.
Yep.
And it's still that midfield that is just too much of a sieve to go through. If you don't win the ball in that high pressure or at least contain it, opponents can get through us too quickly right through the middle. So that's something we've got to fix. And whether that's center backs or holding mids or the midfield or both, which it probably is, it's got to be fixed because 7 goals in 2 games, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to. I did not really look into see where the heat maps placed the all of the midfielders, but I would definitely be going with a double pivot there
Mm-hmm.
just to try to protect the back line better. Um, I have to talk to Kerry and see what he's doing.
But in that situation, that particular goal, one of the backs has got to step to the ball. I mean, you just got to take more aggression, be more responsible for that situation, and step to the ball. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Joaquin and Miller and Rosero and
Logan was
Bolinar
right there. Yeah.
have all been in those having those issues with stepping at the right times. I don't know how Kerry corrects that at this point, or if it's just a summer window, get another player. But the uh,
Well, the
the
summer
actual,
window is quite a ways off.
I know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't say it would be pretty. Again, if
Yeah.
if this year is a rebuild year, which supposedly got Peter in trouble with Mike Illig, I'm not totally sure about it, but I've looked at this as it's a rebuild year. Yes, they went out and spent some money on players, but you still had to fix a lot of issues.
Yeah.
So,
And some people are calling out, like you said, Miller. And if it is a rebuild year and that's how you're treating it, there's going to be your lumps,
yep.
and if these guys, you got to find out, is Miller the guy that's going to be the guy for the future? He's going to make some mistakes and you got to roll with him, if it's a rebuild. So
And
yeah.
Miller's, I think, done a lot good.
Oh
He
yeah.
has been aggressive. He has carried the ball up a little bit. He's made some really good plays. He's cleared the ball out just more so than some of the other defenders. So I do think that he's doing some really good things. And then Bartlett, I know he's a young guy, didn't even complete college, just 1 year, and he's starting and playing regularly. So if it's a rebuild year, you'd sometimes take your lumps with center backs, D mids, goalies, let them get their time.
Yeah, and the thing about Miller, the real positive, in my opinion, is he is good on the ball. He's a good passer out of the back,
Yep.
better than Rosero. And that's the thing that's really keeping him in there, because if they can add better defensive positioning, aggression, whatever it might be, to that, then you got a near complete young center back. So, yeah, hopefully it turns out.
Yeah, and I think he's got a lot of room to grow, but I think he's got the capability of doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we get a little break in the game, 12 minutes from Joseph Martinez goal, and Sporting's under a lot of pressure, and you're looking at this like, hey, if they can just hold on for a few minutes to get to halftime, but then 42nd minute, boom, another goal, Arango. Now it's 3-2, and I wonder how many Sporting fans are going, okay, here it goes, we're
Well, that
done.
was the set piece, right? It was a free kick, just like a corner. It was just off the corner, half circle there, whatever you want to call it. And gosh, did that hit Ndenbe in the head? Is that clear on the replay? It looks like it. Did you make that conclusion or what?
I think it may have. I meant to look at this again really much closer right before we started potting, but I got distracted.
Yeah.
Um, so I do think it did. I don't know if that was a very good phrasing. I do think it did. Anyway, um, but I'm not totally sure. But yeah, it's another goal, and then not too long after that, Joaquin gets hurt and goes off. I'm still not sure what happened there.
Yeah.
And
Well, he is the one that lost Arango on that one. So, but yeah, I don't know what's going. They said Chad's rundown says he was bleeding, and then we find out he has a hamstring injury. So yeah, I don't know.
I didn't see that. So, um, but going into half, man, 3-2. I know you weren't watching it as closely at that moment, but how are you feeling?
Such a fast pace. It did slow down a little bit near the end of the first half, but the fast pace was incredible. Sometimes when you watch on a small screen, it seems a little faster than it actually is. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah.
but I was just thinking, that's not necessarily the game that we excel at, but maybe it is now. Maybe it is now because we are getting so much better with. I mean, come on, Manu, he's exactly what we needed, right?
Yeah.
He's what we need. He's as advertised, I guess you would say. And maybe this is what we are now. Maybe we're this outscore the other team type of thing. But I really think an open style helps that because these players instinctually can play. They're not playing against a low block where they really have to break it down and be more methodical about it. So San Jose, I think, definitely did us a favor. And many of those goals, San Jose's defense could have been better. Let's admit.
So I know I put this on the rundown for the other part of the pod to discuss a little bit, but just because you brought it up, Manu, uh, I think he's somewhere around 22nd in the league for shot creating actions,
Mm-hmm.
but he is tied for second with goal creating actions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's with 8, with only Christian Espinoza above him from San Jose.
Right.
San,
Right.
San Jose scored the most goals so far, and Sporting is a few behind them, but like 6th or 7th in goals scored. Problem is
Right.
they're number 1 in goals allowed. That's the
Yes.
biggest problem
Yes.
right
So what do you think that says about Manu?
now. I think it's he's better than maybe some people are giving him credit for at this point.
Hmm.
I still think again, he we know that early on he was not in sync with Dayon or Salloi or Tommy, and that hopefully it just gets a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at back at this. Dayon didn't score, and we scored
No,
5 goals. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean he was in the mix a lot, but he
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
in the he didn't get the shots that he needed. All right, so coming out of the half, you got Volater in. You got the two of the 3 youngest uh, center backs now in the game because
Hmm.
no Ian James, but that's kind of to be expected. And now you got those guys in, and it's they get a couple more goals. That has nothing to do with center backs, but they get a couple more goals.
Yeah, I mean, the game state didn't really change. It was
No,
again a pretty open game, and Tommy comes in as well. I don't know if you remember, but last game when Shoppy came off, he was not happy at all. He seemed to be a little more accepting, if you will, of it this time. But last time he threw his jersey down. I don't know if anybody noticed that last game, but seems to be a trend that we're going to keep seeing, which is fine. Tommy's got
yeah,
to see the field and do his thing, and Tommy did in this case. But so Garcia plays that ball out wide to Tommy. Did you notice that as the ball was coming to Tommy, he was just peeking over his shoulder to see what was in the box? And that's key because he saw that gaping space that was right there in the right channel or right mid channel of the San Jose's box. And I don't even know if he saw Garcia coming, but he knew that's where to play the ball. I'm saying not Garcia, I mean, sorry, Joveljic and Salloi coming, but that's where he knew to play the ball because that gaping space that was right
yeah.
there.
And the the runs into space and the passes into space
Mm-hmm.
was excellent this game.
Yeah,
Again,
Joveljic runs inside his defender instead of going. So again, sorry, it's not a visual medium, but when Joveljic sees the ball goes out wide, he could have gone near post,
yep,
but instead he goes a little inside of his defender, blind side of his defender, and still goes near post, which, confuses the defense and makes that guy who would have had Salloi pay attention to him and pulls him away from Salloi. And Salloi just runs right into that space because he saw that developing.
So let's see. After that, Salloi scores to make it 4-2. Tommy gets the fifth goal to make it 5-2. And then, the late PK, it was, just to make a consolation goal for Arango. But that's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
5-3.
some people are going to look at Pulskamp and criticize him there, but what else is he going to do, right?
Yeah. Hey, he got an assist on a goal. So, and it was
and
his
he
birthday.
made some nice saves. I mean,
He
San
did.
Jose had their chances, obviously. What was their XG? Do you have that there?
Well, I did just a second ago, and I'll pull this back up, but it was extremely high.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, XG for San Jose was 4.2
Wow.
to 1.9 for Kansas City, according to MLS.
But yeah, Pulskamp, especially early on, I don't know if you remember the play, but basically he makes a sliding play, comes out, and I think it hits his knee on a bang bang play, and he was right there. So, I mean, guy made some good saves. He's getting more bold, I think, coming out on his box, being more aggressive. He had already started that a game or two ago, and he's only continuing it from there. So that's a good thing.
They had 22 shots though. San Jose
That's
had
crazy.
22 shots,
Yeah.
and the 4 point whatever XG. But if you look at, let's see, just running down on FB Ref, they have the outcome of the shot. So I'm just going to run down really quickly every single San Jose shot. Off target, blocked, saved, off target, blocked, off target, goal, off target, blocked, goal, off target, blocked, saved, blocked, off target, saved, off target, goal. Fair amount of shots blocked in there. So the defense was doing some good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously San Jose's game plan to get the game open, more wide open, worked, right? It's
Yep.
just that we took advantage of our opportunities, and they, whether it was being impeded by us or just there were a lot of shots off target in there too, they didn't finish their chances.
So to sum it up, because again, I know you're gonna have to get ready here shortly to go play.
Yeah.
What position are you playing out there? Or is it just like whoever fills in? And do you guys have assigned positions? Is it that high quality of a league?
Thad, this team, I hope no one's listening, is not very good. It's a house team. I was a free agent and I just got put on this team. So I go wherever I feel I'm needed. Not that I'm the best player on the team or anything, but yeah.
So you're the stuck-up star, is what you're trying to say.
No, not at all. Yeah, anyway. It's fun to play.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to the media game and my probable retirement from any more playing.
But that'll be a sad day.
I'm a fat old guy, man, and I acknowledge that. In general, so is this team back, or is it just still the new manager bounce? Is it too fluky to tell right now? They're in the top, like 8 teams best record over the last 3 games.
Last 3 games. That's very significant.
It's a stretch. I know I'm competing for a PR job there by stretching that much. But what do you think?
Well, can they do it against a team that's going to make them, play the ball more and make them break down a defense more than San Jose did for sure? What was the St. Louis score? 2-0.
Yeah.
So we did it against a good defensive team. I mean, St. Louis just shut down Vancouver, top team in the West at home. So, scoring 2 goals against them is no fluke. But when we play Cincinnati this weekend, I think it's going to be a big indicator of what we're really at this point. And what is this game number? What coming up?
Total or for carry?
Total.
Damn it, I don't know.
Is it game number 10? Because if so, that's always been Peter's measuring stick. We'll know by game 10, what we've got. And I think that's true in this case because it's a tough,
Yeah, it'll be
tough
game 10.
opponent. It's away, and it's not going to be easy. We'll see what character we show and if we can play in that difficult of a situation.
Yeah, but the thing is, that was Peter's major, but that's no longer the major.
But no, it's a good measure, though. I think at this juncture, what, third, fourth game under Carey?
Should be fourth.
Number 10 on the season, playing at Cincinnati, who is coming together and is going to be very strong in these last 2/3 of the season. So I think just it happens to fall in the 10th game. I
Yeah.
think it is going to be a very good measuring stick. So we're going to know a lot more about this team after this weekend.
I don't expect a ton out of this game just because it is at Cincy. They are
Yeah.
um, second overall for points in the whole league. For goals wise, they're down there a little ways. Not that far though. So it's Sporting's actually scored more goals than them
Mm-hmm.
by
But
2.
handling a striker like Denke is going to be difficult, and just a team that is so efficient
Yeah.
like Cincinnati.
All right. Any last words of wisdom before I pass you on to the other team, and then I will get back to the next segment for the Shades of Blue.
No, just give, Cody crap about the media game. We got to build that early. Are you going to
Will
make it
do.
out to the training session?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a little worried that my Achilles and other body parts can't handle 2 of those things in a week span, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
We'll see.
Well, say if Carey runs the session, which I doubt he will, we can really get some good feedback on his techniques, afterwards.
Yeah, no, I think it's supposed to be Ash. It's supposed to be Ash Wallace, I believe. So
Is it? Yeah. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if it was Carey. So, all right. Well, hey, enjoy the rest of the pod, and sporting fans, we got something good to look at this year. Let's keep supporting this club.
even if they're not a top contending team this year, I think they
Right.
will be entertaining
Right. Agreed.
up and down. So, all right, man. I will talk to you later.
All right. Thanks.
We'll
Take
take a
care.
break and go to the next segment. All right, back with segment 3. I'm
How's that?
stealing. I've taken control from Cody.
Good.
I don't know if it's good, but I
My
took
turn to derail.
it. I can still derail it because you will start running with it no matter what. I have on the rundown player of the match for Sporting KC and for the Current. Did you watch the Current?
I did. I was telling you before we started, I had family in town, so my life was a little hectic that last week. But I was at a restaurant and I was watching on my phone, so it was that kind of viewing. But I did see the majority of the match.
Yeah, that's hard to see on the phone all the intricacies of the game. But the first one is easy. Player of the match. If you don't say the player, I think you should say for Sporting, you're just a fucking idiot. Excuse me.
Well then it's got to be.
Absolutely.
I panicked and I couldn't think of someone else that would make you mad if I said them. So yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Daniel, obviously clearing away Daniel, and it's really good
Yeah.
to see that. Like you say, he's kind of a streaky player. So I have the feeling that once he sees the ball go in the net, and the way in which he did it, I think he's set up to continue this.
2 goals, 2 assists. He was also MLS player of the match day.
That's
It
right.
was nice to be able to vote for a Sporting player for the first time in a year, it feels like.
Somebody else made team of the week, yeah.
I didn't see the team of the week. I just saw
Oh.
the player, the one that we get to vote for.
Okay. David, look that up. Who made the team of the week? Oh, David's not here. Or Carrie. Damn it. Carrie. Yeah, Carrie abandoned us. That's who I should be giving the crap to. She
Yes. She was supposed to be here. Damn it.
All right. We're all doing it. Just a reminder. We're all doing this in our spare time. I do apologize. Thad and I feel bad if we don't get an episode out in time. I know you guys like the free content. We like doing the free content, but sometimes it's just hard. It just life gets in the way sometimes. So we do very much apologize. Know that we try our best to get these out. So we've got this one in, and I'm proud of you. Thank you, Thad, for kind of taking up the mantle here and getting this episode out because it's a good week. A lot happened. 2 wins for the teams. You love to see it.
And Denbei was on the team of the week.
There you go. See, I was right. I'm not crazy.
So Salloi and Denbei were both on the team of the week. I think Charlotte had a couple players. Miami had a couple players. Yeah, screw those guys.
Yeah. Miami always has a couple players.
Yeah, I'm just assuming it was Miami. I didn't even look at names. I just saw the pink on the jersey, so I was assuming it was them. Current though, that was a little bit harder to say necessarily who was a player of the game, but I will go with. Well, you were actually watching the game, so I'm gonna let you go because I want to see if you remember anything.
Well, Lowe gets the player of the match for the ballerina celebration. She's just so good. What? That was so cute. She's awesome. I love her.
And I asked her after the game. I said, "Do you know how long did you practice that celly?" Because I figured that may have took at least a few tries at it.
Well,
Right?
because it was good form, toe pointed. I've dated a lot of dancers that I've been at dance competitions. That was good form. It looks like she's taken a class or two in her day.
Yeah. And you know what her answer was? Not at all. She winged it.
See, that professional athletes, though, that's just the way that goes. Some people just have a magic to them. She's just seen a couple videos and whipped out a perfectly pointed toe spin. That was very well done.
And then the little the genuflect or whatever the hell that was, where she knelt down and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And I got some good shots of that, I think.
Fancy. Yes, you did have some good shots of that. And the penalty was well taken too. I'm trying to think of another player on planet Earth that I have more confidence in when he or she is about to take a penalty. I just know she's about to convert.
She's converted like all but one or two.
Yeah.
I think it's two is how many
And I've not seen those. So that's why it feels like
Yeah, she's really like money on them. That's well, good. So yes,
are just fired into the upper corner. Like it's like, oh well, no one's ever saving that.
I know, and I mean she is putting that in there. If she could shoot from the run of play like that, man, she would be making a ton of money.
That I know you've heard me say that take before while watching women's soccer. I say it all the time. Just shoot it. If she could shoot like that from that spot, they're not going to stop that if she does that from outside the box. I'm telling you, the goal's the same size as the men. The keeper standing inside of the goal is not the same size, and it's harder to get to those edges. I'm telling you, if I'm entirely wrong, please tell me. But when I'm watching, I have this feeling all the time. Shoot it. I'm screaming, shoot it.
Yeah,
So
but you're not
Okay.
you're not totally wrong, but you're also definitely not totally right on that, man.
Yeah,
Some of those keepers, because I know I've been around. I mean, my daughter played, and it was always like, "Oh, shoot high, they're not going to stop it," and shit like that. But the keepers in women's soccer are getting bigger.
Oh yeah.
Lorena for the Current is
Oh,
6 foot.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, you're gonna get keepers in men that are more 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", but you also had keepers like Tim, who was more like 5'11". Maybe he was 6. I don't know. He wasn't huge.
I'm loving Lorena back there. She's doing well.
The second goal was scored by Kayla Sharples. Nice header. Went up in that battle with Houston's keeper and just knocked it past her. And the Lowe was the first one there to celebrate with her, jumped up in her arm. She's like up, her head's actually up above Sharples, who's also tall. And Lowe said after the game that she realized when she was up there, she goes, "I'm so high."
Yeah, that was a feel good game. Good to see her get that goal. Beautiful goal. Great day for KC.
Yeah, it was great to have two wins, two solid games. Another little note from the current game was Mary Long got her first minutes in the game.
Yeah.
So
Very good. I would also like to note that they did all that scoring without Temo Chawinga scoring. So
it's 2 games now.
Yeah, it's very good to see. And it's like not even a thing, she didn't score for 2 games. That's not even something I'm worried about because the rest of the team is pretty lethal as well.
Yeah, and they also didn't have Michelle Cooper.
Yep.
So
first place. I don't even know that we mentioned that yet. Yes, officially first place.
Yes, sole possession of first place because Orlando lost in Orlando.
Yeah.
To the Washington Spirit. The Washington Spirit. I have to play into that, man. You guys always give me shit for it. So
No, don't play it off. You just said it like that because that's how you say Washington.
no, I made it more so than normal. But yeah, I do say that. I'm okay with that.
It feels right. It feels at home. My mom always asked if I needed to wash my clothes.
Let's see. Next up for Sporting KC though is Cincy. We mentioned this earlier. Near the top of the table, playing good. Going to be a tough match.
Why does it feel like we're playing teams that are better than us every week? Is it because they are?
You know, when you start basically second from the bottom, every team is better than you. Because I remember like seeing people say, "Well, look at our next 10 games. They're all teams that are better than us. They're all."
Yeah.
Yes, of course they are. They're all going to look better because they're all at least higher than you. The only team
Okay.
that was lower than you was LA at one point, and it still is LA.
Yeah.
Haha.
Okay, well, Cincinnati is the real deal. Second place,
Yes,
19 points, 6-1-2. They'll have their hands full.
they will. They're only 12 points in front, though. I mean, it's still early in the season.
We're not too far off yet. I like that you couldn't even get that full sentence of optimism out without laughing at yourself.
Well, I do have some optimism. I mean, yes, Sporting only has 7 points right now, but that puts them not that far out of some other teams that, once they start doing something, if they start doing something.
Yeah, man. We said at the beginning of the year there wasn't a lot of hope coming into this or expectations, obviously. So games like that we just had, the 2-0 fight that they show in big moments against St. Louis, that's all that we can hope for. And like you said, they're gonna be close. They're not too far off some other teams. So if we can give us something here at the end of this season, if we're talking about a playoff race, that's something. It'll feel like it'll feel like we're rooting for something again.
They're 5 points out of a playoff spot, man, right now. So
All right. There we go. I'm telling
that's
you, a center back in the summer window, baby.
yeah. Again, how far back will they be at that point, though? That's the problem.
Yeah.
If the center back is the solution, it may not be coming soon enough to make them high enough. But we'll see, man. I haven't run like all the numbers. I haven't looked at every single thing. But if a player or two can make a difference, it would be really good to have them early in the summer window.
Manu got his first goal, right? That was his first one of the season, I believe. That was good
It
to see
was.
that. Where I haven't talked to you for a while about him. What do you think of his progression? Is he growing into this league, getting a little better?
I think he is, and this is a stat that I pulled in the segment with Robert. For goal scoring contributions, he is second, tied for second, but second in the league with 8 goal scoring actions.
Um, what does that mean? Because he only has 2 assists, right? One goal
Yeah,
and two.
but it's the actions that lead up to it.
Oh, okay. Oh, so like if they did all hockey assists, he would have a bunch more than that. Or he started the pass that started another pass that then
Right.
led to the goal. Yeah. Okay.
It's all those little things. It can even be like I think he got a goal scoring contribution. They call it a GCA on FBref, but a goal contributing action, whatever it is,
Yeah.
from having got the foul that Pulskamp got the assist for. So like he
All
got
right.
the foul, Pulskamp got the assist. So it's in that all that sort of thing. But it sounds like 8 wouldn't be that many in this case. However, he's tied for second with 8,
Dude,
and the only person above him is Christian Espinoza.
that sounds like a more legit stat than XG to me. I actually really like this stat. That's when you can talk because that's where sometimes a guy's just running around on the field making things happen. He's not on the score sheet, doesn't get the goal, doesn't get the assist, but he's making things happen. I like this. I like this stat, Thad.
So there's also another stat that's kind of interesting in there, and it's shot creation action. So it's not the goal scoring, it's the shot creation part of it. And he's not as high up, but he's 12th in the league with
Okay.
37.
Top 15.
So and there's several guys that are 38, 39, 42 like that. The most though is Christian Espinoza from the Earthquakes. So
He has not been perfect, but I've seen enough that I do still believe, it's still it's early in the season. I think that he can still figure this league out a little bit more and grow a little more comfortable or confident.
Yep.
And yeah, man, there's some really beautiful passes that I have felt like Sporting hasn't had a guy in that area of the field to make that pass in that moment that just gets around that corner or just sends Salloi down the wing around a defender. So it's really refreshing, and I'm just really hoping that he continues to build confidence.
Yeah, and it's just he's still learning the league, still learning the players, and
I know,
he's
and
such a
sometimes I feel
smart guy.
stupid. Yeah, sometimes I feel stupid. I said that as well. Like he's still learning. I don't know how long we keep saying that, but I do feel like he's found something of a rhythm. The way he ran onto that ball from Shoppy there, he recognized that space from about the center circle and made that run. And yeah, there's something there. I do believe that he's going to keep figuring it out. I don't know how long we can keep saying that, but I believe we won't have to because he'll start showing it.
Well, I mean, he's already showing it if he's already that high in the
Right.
different contributing action
Right.
categories. And it's just something sometimes you don't see all of those things. That's why they keep those stats though, so you can kind of measure that somehow. Uh, and they were able to kind of pick apart San Jose for those games. They were able to pick apart St. Louis a bit with a completely different defense. Again, this is something that Robert and I talked a little bit about, but as you see that they can do this against different defenses, that just gives you more confidence that they can be a consistently decent scoring team.
And
If
it
what's
gives
that?
them the confidence too, not not
Right.
just us, which is good that I have the confidence, but I think that it's giving them the confidence as well.
And then maybe the defense can settle in, the midfield can protect the defense better, all that stuff. Whether it's more players or just these guys getting more experience and settling into roles as rookies, because Bartlett and Jansen are both rookies. So, all right, man. Don't know have any much more to say about Cincy. I was just going to do preview because Casey Current,
We
Daniel Sperry.
always preview the next game so well, though. I don't know. I thought
Yeah,
we
well,
covered that as well as we ever covered.
I am not supposed to be the guy who scouts the next team. At least not on a Monday. I'm not.
Yeah, Sunday or Monday, we really are never prepared for that properly.
I'm I on Sunday, man. I'm like editing photos from the game the day before. I'm doing other stuff. I'm family stuff, trying to rush to get to a pod or do
Get the
something else,
content out from the last game
and
while, yeah.
Easter in this case, like hiding eggs for my daughter to find, all that shit.
Easter triple holiday this year for David's birthday, Easter, and
Mm,
420. So happy
yep,
Easter, 420, David's birthday to all who celebrate.
420 in candy.
Yeah.
But there should be a new pod keeping current with Kansas City out sometime in the next day or two, and Sperry and I can record it. And I got a good interview with guys from Sunflower State FC, uh,
Cool.
Salvatore Sesti, and Nick McDonald about how they moved up to, not moved up, but they did kind of move up to USL2. And the last thing on my rundown is there's a media game coming up on May the 4th be with you.
Yes. Yes. Did I get the official confirmation email yet? Hold on. I don't
You're
know.
on the official list.
Okay, good. You've seen it. I'm officially there. Okay.
Yeah, should I screenshot it just in case they take it
Oh,
back?
no, I just busy day. I hadn't I looked at like 3 o'clock if they had sent the confirmation because they said, no guarantees here, even oh wow, bless you. Double sneeze. That even if you apply, that there's no guarantee that you'd get in. So I started getting nervous this year. Okay, good. Are we on the same
We,
team?
no, we are not. You are on Team Sporting, and I am on Team Wizards. So maybe it's Wizards because I'm on there because I'm old.
Does that mean you're gonna get the Wizards jersey?
I hope that's what it means.
Uh,
I think that's what it means.
that's probably what that means. Damn it.
But you should probably get like the new like glitch kit thing, or I mean
I'll get the new one.
the
Okay.
new state line.
I have I'm not even gonna complain because every other year I have felt like I fell on the correct side of what jersey I wanted. So
What'd you get last year?
that dark
Yeah.
dark blue with the new light blue mixed in. I love
Cool.
it. No, sorry, it's the new dark blue that they added
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
last year. God, I love that jersey, that color combination. I almost wish they still use the original. Is it sporting blue? The one that was officially sporting blue was the dark one, right? Not the light blue.
It's the light blue.
Oh, okay. So I had that wrong. Whatever.
Sporting blue and indigo, I believe.
They had the indigo for a long time. And then for that jersey last year, it's a slightly different blue. And whatever that difference is makes the sporting blue, that light blue, pop so hard. I love this color combination.
Yeah.
So I got
me
that
too.
one. I've had the Wizards jersey in the past when the other people didn't get it. So you know what? You win some, you lose some. Although this is like the coolest one they've ever done.
You can also go buy one.
Yeah, that's true.
Which we don't do this just for a free jersey, but it is a perk.
Yes, let's do it for glory and riches.
Yeah. And I, Robert really wanted me to give you a hard time. Like, are you going to go score? You have to, like, you've been playing soccer, you've been doing all the team sports that you've been doing that you complained about earlier that takes away all your time, but now you're like a professional athlete. Now you're gonna have to go out and score, you're gonna have to go out and prove yourself. And
no, let's be clear, I'm not a professional athlete, but straight up the guys on this team that I'm playing with are they've played Tulsa FC in the US Open Cup, and they play on an actual team in an actual league where you have to pay $5 to go watch them play. So I told you, I fell into this with a really good team, and I just do my best to keep up. But Robert is right. Now I've had a ball at my feet, and all those other media games, I hadn't touched a soccer ball in 5 years or whatever it was. So now y'all better watch out.
this is probably my last one, so I'm just going out to, like,
I was
have
gonna
fun.
say, I thought you announced retirement last year, so this is your last one, you think?
I said last year that this would probably be my last one. I skipped last year actually playing because I had too many injuries, and I was wanting to play the first game at the Current, the first media game at the Current. So I wanted to do that.
Don't retire. Just, you never know how you're gonna feel next year. Tom Brady wanted to retire. How many times did he come back? Rehab those injuries, do a little yoga. Maybe those ankles will feel a little bit better. You never know. I'm just saying.
Eat a few less ribs.
I think and eat less barbecue. That would also help. I don't think you're done yet. I think you got some years left in you, Thad.
Yeah. Smaller fields would be better, though. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right, man. What else? Anything you got? Anything prophetic to say?
No. I just very badly want to go shower. I'm covered in sand. Gotta get me out of here. I feel dirty.
That's not just the sand.
All right. Yeah. No Carrie. I really thought this was gonna be fun when Carrie joined midway through, and we didn't even get her for that.
I know.
How great of an addition has Carrie been, by the way?
Yeah, I know. She's been awesome. Helping out with social and
helping out with social.
Different voices. And she just responded like 5 minutes ago saying, "Sorry, missed it."
Of course she did. I love having the female representation on here that I wanted for a long time. She's very funny, great dynamic. She gets you. She allows you to be you, and it just works. I love it. She understood our humor.
Yeah, and she brings a little different in different ways. So yeah, no, I love having her on there. That's a very good find, and now we should convince her friends that does all the funny social videos to come over too.
Yeah, she is embedded. She's embedded into the cauldron. Her partner is on camera every game or being highlighted or honored in some way. They're right in the mix. We found a winner there. Insanely knowledgeable, great pickup. I'm so good at this. Anyway, are we finally wrapping up?
She can talk about the women's game better than anybody else on Shades of Blue besides me.
There you go. There it is. There it is. Self-awareness. Love to see it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go shower.
All right. What do you got to say?
Sporting!
We're out.
It's Saturday. drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. The other side don't seem so tough, and 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking.